I'm Mike.
And I'm Adam.
And this is Stuff and Waffle. Two friends talking about stuff, and often as not, waffling with frequent reference to Bond cars. We chatted recently about a sort of Bond car that had come up for sale.
Oh, the Toyota?
Toyota 2000 GT, yes, we did. A bona fide Bond car, although not that particular one.
No.
There's another car that's come up for sale. It's a more tenuous Bond link.
More tenuous.
More tenuous. And interesting to get your opinion on this one.
Okay, go on then.
There is an Aston Martin DBS for sale.
Right.
But not the one you'd want it to be. It's not a 1970 DBS or 68, 69, any of the proper ones. It's a modern DBS, but it's the On Her Majesty's Secret Service Special Edition.
Oh, hang on, right. Right. Hang on, yes. I know the one you mean. Yes.
It's not the first time Aston Martin have done this, because didn't they? I think they did a Spectre special edition as well, didn't they? Of a car that wasn't in Spectre.
Yeah, there's been. I want to say. Hang on, I'm just going to Google it. What was the? Yes, the 007 edition of, was it the Vantage?
I think it was a car that Bond never drove.
No.
Yes. So keen were they to promote their 007 connections.
Yeah, I'm just looking at it now, and it's annoying, is what it is.
I thought you'd say that. Yes, the Aston
Martin.
Martin.
Hang on. I mean, before we get onto the rage of the On Her Majesty's Secret Service, I've looked up so that I can have a rage about the Aston Martin Vantage 007 editions, because they went,
oh, please do.
Oh, it's a Bond one, so we put skis on it on the roof.
Yeah, which in fact was a Lotus in the film.
Yeah. And you go, right, but think about it though. The Vantage in Living Daylights had skis on it, but they weren't put on your feet, they were put on the car.
Yes, so that when its wheel got blown off, it could still make its way across the ice.
Yes, that's right.
Yes,
so, but
the car with the skis on the roof was a Lotus Esprit.
Yeah, but the skis that they've put on the roof, they've tried to make it the same colour as the sort of yellow and black of the side skirt ones.
Yeah.
And anyway, that's not the car.
It's all a bit wrong, isn't it, really?
It's bloody stupid is what it is.
But yes, that's not the car that is currently for sale. It's the DBS 5.2 V12 by Turbo Superleggera On Her Majesty's Secret Service Special Edition.
And
yes.
And I just Googled it to see which one you're on about.
Yeah.
And I found the actual one that you're speaking about, the car that is for sale. And the subheading on piston heads in this particular case, Aston's last Bond car was surprisingly delectable slice of movie memorabilia. No.
Except it wasn't. That has nothing to do with the film whatsoever. Yeah. So it's green, like the DBS in Majesty's Secret Service.
Yeah, but I mean, they're really pushing it, because then it's got door plates, isn't it? It's got a little holder for your Bollinger.
Yep.
I just go, right, come on, you are really clutching at straws here.
Yeah, they are. Yeah, they are. So it's got nothing to do with the film at all.
No.
Other than the fact that it's a DBS, but it's the wrong DBS.
The wrong DBS. I mean, oh my goodness me. I mean, the only time they've ever really got it bang on was with the DB5 recreations.
Yes. Well, and a huge amount of effort went into that. But of course, that was Aston Martin works. That's not the main company.
No, true. No,
it's a separate business, isn't it? Who specialise in the restoration of and maintenance of classic Astons.
Yeah.
That is brilliant, and a huge amount of effort went into getting it as accurate to the original as possible. This, I think, a huge amount of effort has gone to making it as far away from the original as possible. It's a shameless marketing exercise, isn't it?
Because, I mean, if you took it in isolation and went, right, okay, here is a DBS, a special edition, and you didn't put Bond anywhere near it, you'd probably be all right.
Be all right with that.
I mean, actually, the wheels are hideous.
The wheels are a bit strange, aren't they? Yeah. I wouldn't like to clean those.
The design is too busy, and they are enormous.
They are huge. The ride quality is going to be terrible.
Yeah, I know. I mean, mind you, neither of you, me or you, are particularly young, so we like a sidewall in our time.
That was a very old man to say.
But they do look silly. It does look like the tyres are painted on. Those wheels are too big and too fussy.
Yeah, they are. They really are. I guess they're trying, because the movie car had wire wheels.
Yes, it did.
So I guess they're trying to sort of replicate that with those.
They missed.
Yeah, they did. The colour is not I mean, yes, it's green, but it's not the same green.
Does it say what green it is?
Olive green metallic. That's all it says.
Yes, because some of the so-called Aston colours that are green are really awful in the flesh. There's one that I've come across. Let me get the name of it right. I want to really hammer this point home. Arden green. Awful.
Okay, yeah. Right.
It doesn't look too bad in the odd photo, but I've seen a few in the flesh and gone, you'd need to get rid of that. Because what you've got there is a brown car.
Yes. I'm not against some browns.
No, we've been through this. I'm with James May on this. Brown is not the colour of progress. I mean, James May is nothing to do with progress, but I agree with
the style guru that is James May.
But in this particular instance, he's bang on.
Well, anyway, it's not the same green that the car that George Lazenby drove.
No.
Is in, so that's wrong for a start. And have you perchance noticed the price?
Oh no, I glossed over that entirely.
Yes.
Allow me to have a look at the actual Get in the Sea. What are you on about?
Oh, you've spotted the price there. That's a big number, isn't it?
You've made one of the Astons look worse, give it faux credentials, and charge more.
Yeah. Quite a lot more.
£260,000.
Yeah.
No.
You would have to have your head read, wouldn't you? Really?
No.
You could get a very, very nice original DBS in whatever colour you wanted to paint it in for that.
And a lot of change.
Yes, and something else as well. Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. I know.
What is wrong with them?
No money is what's wrong with them. This one's only done 700 miles, I see.
Well, that's great. I mean, but the thing that annoys me is you've got endless possibilities. They had Casino Royale and Quantum with the DBS that was actually better looking than that version of the DBS.
Yes, it was. Yes, that's got a very Zagato-like grille, doesn't it?
Yeah, too big.
Too big. Yeah, we've touched on that before.
Yeah.
Yes.
But yeah, Daniel Craig era DBS.
Yeah, you got some good cars in there. Yeah.
Yeah, nice.
No.
Oh, not that one. Right. Okay.
But it makes no sense to link it to On Her Majesty's Secret.
No, none whatsoever. None at all. None.
What I'd like to see is a continuation edition of the DBS.
Yeah.
The original. But no one would buy it. So
no, I think you're barking up the wrong tree there, I'm afraid, mate.
Yeah, no one's going to do that, are they? Unfortunately, but it's nevertheless, it's what I'd like.
There you go. You could buy, like, if you wanted a more modern one, if you want the Daniel Craig era Casino Royale DBS, you could buy one with incredibly low miles. They got the manual in it, and it's under 100 grand.
Yeah, that's the other thing. This one's an auto. Yeah, well, there you are. You see, so well less than half for an actual Bond car.
Yeah.
Yep. That's what you should do. Any Bond fans looking to buy that, you're getting it wrong.
Yeah, no, make that go away. Right. On the topic of awful Aston Martins, you like the DBX because I don't know why. I really don't know why.
I don't know why. I just do.
You need your head shutting in the door, lock, stock style for that. You just really need to come to your senses of going, no, I've been silly. I saw one on my travels while driving up to Rob's for the French visit.
Mm-hmm.
And it was in bright, non-metallic red.
That's interesting.
Yeah. I mean, they look awful in the colours that you expect them to be in. I mean, they look even worse in colours that they shouldn't be in.
I can't imagine it looking good. No,
it was bad.
Someone's obviously spec'd that because they won't have.
No, that's not an off-the-shelf one. No, we've got this lying around in the showroom. No, you haven't. Yeah, that was awful.
Wow. Yeah.
No,
that is bad. That's a poor choice. Yeah, that's a poor choice.
Yeah, I don't really know what they were getting out there, but it was. I mean, I've seen a few on the road and they're awful, but that's the worst one yet.
Yeah.
I saw one in blue earlier in the day, and I thought I don't really like that either. It was too bright. And then a bright red. Oh dear.
You're not going to be a fan of the brown they launched it in, then, are you?
Nope, that's awful too. When you say brown, they probably class it as green.
I don't think they called it brown, but it was a metallic brown. There's no getting away from that.
Yeah, I bet green was in the name though. That's dreadful. Absolutely dreadful. I got nothing on that.
Well, it's not a car you're a fan of anyway, but put it in a bad colour and it just gives you an excuse to hate it even more.
I can hate it even more. I don't like the On Her Majesty's Secret Service one. That can go away as well.
Well, that doesn't make any sense. I'll grant you that. No. Mind you, the DBX doesn't make any sense. I still quite like it.
We need to have a really heated discussion on that. Right. News has emerged this week at some point. I can't remember when, but I jotted it down in the back of my head. Must get angry about this. Right. There's one particular car in the VW lineup where I go, that's not too bad, that.
Just the one.
Yeah. Well, I'm really bored of Golf GTIs and Golf Rs and all that sort of stuff. Just go, for me, the last Golf GTI that I wanted was a Mark V. If someone said to me now, you can have one, that's what I'd pick. I don't want anything newer than that. I think they got it bang on.
Yeah, that's fair.
Really like the styling of it. I just thought that was bang on.
Yeah.
But there's one car in their range which looks to be not in their range for very much longer, but it's a car that I really think looks kind of nice and you can get in an estate.
I think I know what you're going to say.
Yeah, the Arteon.
Yes, and they're going
to
do away with that.
Yeah, they're pulling the plug on that allegedly. Again, low model volumes. Sorry, other way around. Low volume models.
Yes.
Oh God.
Low model volumes.
Too little sleep and too many beers. So Yeah, that's apparently
it's a good looking car, that isn't it?
It is, but
it's a really good looking car.
Get one while you can, kind of thing.
Yeah, absolutely.
So yeah, they're off, which that makes total sense.
Yeah,
get some more, replace it with some more TOS in the ID range, and we'll be well away.
Yeah, I'll replace that with the with some badly built electric thing. Yeah.
Oh God, what would it be? What's their new one that I really don't like the look of? Which, the 7's the new one, isn't
ID7 is the new one. Yes.
Yep, don't like that either.
Yeah. No. Well. Yeah. There's an awful lot of ID.
It's just they're everywhere. I don't get it. But yeah, that 7. There's something wrong with it. You think actually it's kind of a big. You think, oh, it's a saloon, but it's got a hatchback, and then you look at it and go, the proportions are not right.
No, it's a bit unbalanced, isn't it?
It is a bit unbalanced, and then I have taken the trouble to have a little look through the press shots and go,
oh, well done, yeah.
That interior, photographed at a distance, looks fine. That interior, when you sort of look a bit closer, you go, that looks like some plastic shit.
Well, see, this is what's wrong with the ID range, is that by all accounts, the interiors are just plastic, floppy, fall apart in your hand rubbish. That's the trouble.
And if you look, there's a photo of the boot open, and it's a big hatch. Fair play.
Yeah, I like that.
Yeah. Model S-esque.
Yes.
Very nice.
Yes.
Or going back a bit further, Ford Sierra. Nice.
Well, there you go. Yes. Oh, any mention of a Sierra, you just go kind of get a warm, fuzzy feeling, don't you?
Yeah, happy with that.
Yeah.
But they show you with the open and well lit, and you go, that looks like that's the sort of boot carpet quality and lining that I would expect to see. And no disrespect to what I would expect to see on a Dacia or something like that. I'm just going practical, but a bit meh.
A vehicle at a much lower price point.
Exactly, and I know it's me being fussy about going, well, it's the lining of the boot, but it's just an observation. Again, you've got that really cheap, rough fabric and cheap plastic.
Cars are tactile things, aren't they? And when you touch a door card or the steering wheel or anything like that, or even, as you say, the boot carpet, when you're putting stuff in there, if it's this kind of cheap, nasty fabric, it does send you a message, and you say, "Oh, this isn't." Yeah.
I tell you what, I'm about to lump praise on a vehicle that I didn't expect to. I'm not. We'll go back to a Le Mans reference again. But Mr. Fred was kind enough to transport us down in his Citroen C4 Space Tourer. And
that's not what you called it.
No, and it's not the sticker that we put on the back of it either. That story can finally come out now.
It can. This is the thing that I almost mentioned.
Yeah, you almost gave it away before we did. Yes. Yeah. So, yes, for context, what happened is when Mr. Friend told us this is the vehicle he'd bought, there was a message that came through on the phone. However, what he thought he typed was, I have bought a Citroen C4 Space Tourer, which is basically just a people carrier. It was it's kind of a renamed C4 Picasso, basically.
Yes.
His phone, allegedly, auto-corrected it to Citroen C4 Sex Tourist.
There you go.
There it is. So that's why we're having a chuckle. And we all had a very fun time laughing at it. Going, what a silly autocorrect. However,
but typically you took that a bit further, didn't you?
Yeah. I went online and got
You went on the internet.
Yes, and expense to myself, had some stickers made that said Sex Tourist.
You did.
So that when we were away and when he wasn't looking, we applied the stickers to the vehicle and waited for hilarity to ensue.
There you go.
He thought it was fantastic.
Oh, fair enough.
Which is
good. Fair enough. That's good.
However, when we got back, the Tuesday morning following our arrival home on the Monday, said vehicle was about to be used for the school run, apparently.
Oh, no.
I don't know the outcome of that.
Oh, no, that's bad.
Yeah, so...
Oh, dear.
Take
Yeah.
kids to school and the sex tourist. So, yeah, that's...
Oh, no.
Yeah, so, yeah, we went slightly off piece, but I was actually going to lump praise on it for... It was comfy. Nothing fell off of it.
Yeah.
And it looks like a better built thing than that ID nonsense.
Yeah, well, this is what's coming out. There's loads of reviews of it where motoring journalists, quite prominent motoring journalists, are saying it's a bit rubbish, actually. It's really not up to VW standards.
No.
In fact, I think it was Rory Reid who said the Model 3 is considerably better built than the VW ID3.
No one expected that.
No. It
Tesla
really didn't.
Mocked their build quality, and yet people are saying it's better than that.
It's noticeably better built than the ID3. Yes,
I've been looking at pictures of the ID7. I have at least sat in a 3, and it was awful.
Mm-hmm.
It didn't feel quality.
No,
I'm comparing it to sitting for many hours in a French car and saying that was better by some margin.
Yeah, it hasn't spread to the whole of the VW range from what I've read, but the ID range specifically, they are not quality items. No.
They're being built to a price, aren't they? That's essentially what's happening here.
That's, I fear, the only way they are being competitive is by making them really cheap.
Mm-hmm.
Unfortunately, nobody else is doing that. And Tesla are getting better and better all the time.
Yeah, it's gonna. I don't know. Some people are getting it really bang on. Back to South Korea again, nailing it.
Yes.
Polestar
as well.
Polestar, yeah, all right. Slightly higher price point. But then the lower end of it, you go, well, for a similar build quality to what VW are saying, it's a premium vehicle, essentially. You can pop to China and get some MG offerings and such like and go, actually, this is where your money should be if you want the same sort of quality at the end of it, basically.
Well, like we would, when we touched on the new Vauxhall Astra last time, I think
missed.
It's too expensive. It's too expensive, even though that might, we don't know yet because we haven't seen it, but that might be properly screwed together. It's way too expensive. The ID3 isn't, but they've dealt with it in another way.
I saw, actually, we're on the topic of what I mentioned before, the Chinese stuff. I saw on my travels a lot of MG5s.
Oh, you will do. Yeah.
Everyone's loving them.
Yeah. There's loads of MG4s popping up around here. We have a very, shall we say, enthusiastic MG dealer here who is very keen on pushing the electric stuff. There are people in the owner's family who have Teslas, so that's obviously where it's coming from. But there are loads of MG4s popping up around here. And, it's a pretty compelling offering. It really is. Yeah.
We've said it before. You can't knock it for a price point like that. It'll do.
There's more than do. There's no quantifiable reason why you wouldn't have one.
No. I mean, there isn't. I know that probably that we would struggle to, if you pardon the phrase, pull the trigger.
Well, yeah, but that's badge snobbery. That's not quantifiable. I'm not saying there aren't reasons you wouldn't. I'm saying there aren't any quantifiable reasons you wouldn't have one.
No, and I think sensibleness would prevail. I would ultimately get past it, but there's nothing wrong with it. It just does it, doesn't it?
Yeah, it does. It does. And again, they're getting their tech. Build quality has always been good. The tech, certainly in the early MG5s, was a bit kind of last generation. But they're getting better at that. The computer was a bit slow and it, wasn't quite where some of the others are. But you sort of forgive it of that because it is actually cheaper. You think, it might feel a bit cheap, but it actually is cheaper. So, for the price point. But certainly the latest ones don't feel cheap, and the software is getting better. And you can't, for the price, you can't beat them. You really can't. It's a proper estate car in the MG5. It's a proper 5-door hatch in the MG4. You can get some really nice options on them. Nice paint colors, nice wheels. It's good. But next to the ID3, which is not put together very well and has got very buggy software from what I've read. It's from VW. It's a bit of a pathetic offering.
Yeah, I can't get on board with that, I'm afraid.
No, you just wouldn't consider it, I don't think.
No, I tell you what, while we're on the topic of electric things and some that are nice and some that are a bit poo, while I was away, obviously there's various car stands there as well, and Alpine were there. They had the concept A290 Beta.
Oh, okay.
And that hell of a thing. The one that looks a bit Renault 5-ish.
I was going to say that puts me in mind of the. In fact, it's very, very much like the Renault 5. The headlights and everything are very similar to the 5 EV that is Renault are pushing like crazy at the moment. In fact, it's almost exactly.
Well, it probably is, isn't it?
I was going to say, you know what that puts me in mind of is the Renault 5 GT.
Yeah.
The flared wheel arches and
just a bit
it is.
I suppose all the turbo of yesteryear.
Or the turbo, yes, that as well. Yeah. Absolutely. That's
Yeah, so that was a winner.
That's nice. Yeah.
I don't think I put any snaps up of that, but I did take some.
No, I don't recall seeing any of that, but I've just Googled it and there's plenty of pickies, so.
Yeah, it was a very cool thing.
Oh, that's naughty, that, isn't it? That's really naughty. Yeah. Little spotlights on the front and everything. That's really nice. Yeah.
Liked that. Actually, while we're on the topic of hideous things as well, not saying the Alpine was, but other things that were. The BMW stand had that just ghastly XM on it.
Oh, yeah, no, that can go away.
That was awful.
Yeah.
Yeah, in the flesh, it was even worse. Yeah.
Okay, we don't want that.
No, we don't. One thing that we do want, actually, on the Peugeot stand, they had the 508 PSE.
Oh, right, yeah.
That was nice.
Let me get a picky of that up here.
You remember that one? That was the one that...
yeah.
Johnny Smith did a video on.
Johnny Smith did a review of one of those, didn't he? Yes, that very much. Yes. Yep. That's the first Peugeot in a long time that I would consider.
Yeah, I think we all left that stand going, oh, yeah, it's nice.
Yeah.
And we had a little sit in it, and it's like, this is just well appointed, really nice. And go, this is a fast French car. All you need to do is wait a couple of years, and they'll be worth peanuts.
They will be worth nothing.
Yeah.
Yes. You'll be able to pick one of those up for a bag of sausages or whatever.
Not like that. Not again. Not again. I don't want any complimentary sausages with that. You'll
pay money. Yes, every so often, Peugeot are a funny manufacturer, aren't they? They churn out loads of dreary nonsense, and every so often they'll just pop up with something like that.
It's weird, isn't it? I mean,
they just seem to get it right every so often. You just think, why are you wasting our time with all this dross when you can do this?
I know, but you think back to sort of 80s, 90s and go, they were just churning out. It was all good, really.
Yeah, that was a good era for them.
I suppose actually what we end up doing here is reciting that Top Gear episode where they looked at the history of Peugeot.
They did.
Yeah.
And all the weird things that they've made over the years.
Yes. I can't remember if we've mentioned it on here before, but you remember they did a sketch involving the Peugeot boardroom.
Yes, I do remember. They all had moustaches.
Yeah, baguettes knocking about, lots of wine and all that.
That's right. What if we make terrible cars?
That.
Yes.
Really
awful.
Yeah. Yes. Apparently the wine was real.
Oh yeah, I'm not surprised.
And they got arseholed.
Of course they did.
Because I'll name drop. Because Richard Porter said he said he was out off his tits because he's in that sketch.
Is he? I never noticed.
On the table.
Okay.
He said,
right.
That was proper wine, and they just kept filling it up.
Just,
and he's
of course
just
they did.
Absolutely battered.
Well, we've never done a podcast entirely sober, so
no, I don't think so. And maybe sometimes when I think there's possibly one or two where it wasn't sober, but I was heavily medicated instead.
Oh well, yeah. Well, there was one where you took it to yes.
Yes, that's a different one. That was definitely booze related.
It was.
Yeah. But there was definitely some on painkillers when I decided to get myself that pneumonia. That was.
Oh yeah, that was fun. Yeah, you really enjoyed. Yeah.
Yeah, I can. Yeah, I can be bitter about that. I think still.
Well, I do hope so.
Yeah. So yeah, we've there's some electric. We've ended up in an electric episode there.
Well, yeah, but I didn't intend to talk about those cars at all. But we do seem to.
We started.
The VW, whatever it's called that they're discontinuing, the Arteon.
There was something before that, surely.
No, because you mentioned the Arteon, and that's been largely replaced by the stuff like the ID7, and that's what got us onto electric.
Oh, okay. Oh, and before that, we were talking about Astons, weren't we?
Yes, that's right.
Yeah, we are
not electric in any way. Yes.
No, not at all. No, they've still not jumped on that bandwagon despite having made one and then cancelled it.
Yeah, I know. It was really good as well, the Rapide.
Nice. The Rapide in general was a nice looking thing.
Yeah, it was. The Rapide, which I saw in person, was really nice. It was just after I saw it that they cancelled it.
Well, count yourself lucky you got to see it.
I did get to see it before it got crushed or wheeled away into a warehouse somewhere, never to be seen again. Yeah.
Yeah, that's going to go somewhere. It'll crop up in a museum, but the battery will never hold a charge because it's not been plugged in decades.
It's been plugged in for 20 years, yeah.
Oh, dear. Right, okay then. Well, we ended relatively positively there, I suppose, with talking about Alpines and please make that concept car with immediate effect.
We managed to talk about Aston Martin without making any mention of U-Tree. And that's the first time in a few weeks, and I've done it now.
And that's it. Here we go. Right, leave it there. No, go back to the Alpine. Think of the nice Alpine, Renault 5 Turbo. Alpine.
Oh yeah, I'm going to look at a picture of that. Calm myself down. Yeah,
do that. Yeah, not dodgy. No.
Well, I think that's probably enough of that for this week. Check us out on all the various social medias and things. Thank you very much for listening.